Today we're going to talk about this extremely cheap gaming PC that I put together by using an old Dell Optiplex 7040 small form factor, and I paired it with an RX 5700. So all these components that I'm showing, they're all bought used from local marketplace. I paid $40 for this PC, $20 for the 16GB RAM, $20 for the 128 SSD, and $100 for this GPU. I already had all the cables and the mounting hardware, like this vertical GPU mount, to make this all work, so I did not pay any extra money for that. So this PC altogether cost me $180 Canadian. It is capable of playing 1440p at 60 FPS for most games on high settings, and even for some most demanding games, it can still put out 30 to 40 FPS. And since this is a budget build and I did not want to spend any extra money on storage, I'm using a USB 3 external SSD for all my games. Since this small form factor PC only came with 180 watt power supply, I needed to be very mindful of how I was going to distribute the power between the CPU and the GPU. So now let's go over the detailed specs of this gaming rig. I've got AMD Adrenaline running in the background showing the latest drivers, and I've got CPU-Z and GPU-Z showing every spec that you need to know about this gaming rig. In terms of the GPU power, we have reduced the power limit all the way down to -50. Now this GPU will only draw 90 watts at max power load. Our CPU draws about 50 watts, so we've got a power draw of 140 watts, and we've got 180 watts power supply rated at 80 plus bronze. That means we can use roughly 144 watts out of those 180 watts. So we're right at the limit. Now we're gonna go ahead and test out some of my favorite games at 1440p. We're gonna start off with Counter-Strike 2 running at high preset. You can see that the game is running above 100 FPS. The experience is very smooth and the game is running flawless. There's no lag, no delay. Now, let's move on to our next game, which is Forza Horizon 5, running at high preset again. And you can see we're getting around 80 to 90 FPS on this game, and it jumps up to 100. Again, this is a very smooth experience, just like Counter-Strike 2. You got no hiccups, no lag. The game is running smooth. And now our next game is gonna be GTA 5 running at a mixture of very high and high settings. GTA 5 also runs pretty good on this rig. We're hovering around 65 to 70 FPS. It is a really great experience. The game is super smooth. And our next game is going to be Call of Duty Warzone, running at 1440p at balanced settings. As this game is very CPU demanding and we don't have the GPU power limit up all the way, so we're kind of limited on performance. We're getting around 40 FPS, drops down to 35. But again, the experience is very playable. It does not drop below 30, and it even jumps up to 45, 50 FPS at some times. Our second last game is going to be RDR2, Red Dead Redemption 2, running at ultra and high settings with a mixture of medium as well. And we're getting 40, 45 FPS, jumps up to 50. Very smooth experience. And for our last game, we're going to be testing out Cyberpunk, running at medium settings. So it is a very heavy game. We're running at a 1440p medium, and we're achieving 25 to 30 FPS, but mostly close to 30. And the game runs super smooth. All the games that we ran today were in native 1440p resolution without any AMD fidelity. Hope you like this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. And like always, thank you for watching.